Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So today we are going to go through the customer development stage, which is essential for every single venture. And we are going to go through the theory, but before jumping into the plan, let me introduce myself quickly. So I'm Diana Pakidze. I'm more than 20 years already launching and scaling startups in different sectors around the globe. All of them, I can say, were international ventures. I never worked with only local startups, even though with the ethical growth, let's say, trend and development and direction, I am focusing commercially. I am also reconsidering the scaling stage of a startup, just me personally, until which extent it's required and when company is ready to go for the international, multinational level. I was born in Kazakhstan, grew up in Georgia, and studied in Russia. And for 7 years, I lived in Germany, and now I'm based in Barcelona for the past 11 years, married with 2 small kids, 2 girls. And my passion is, of course, helping startups to grow ethically and to find that impact piece where they would be like, whatever they do, they know they do it for better. So today we're going to go through the theory briefly because most of it I'm sure you know. I'm not going to tell you anything new, but what is it that we are going to focus on is on practical 2 exercises where we are going to do group works. I tried to split the groups between your stage and the let's say the vertical. And we are going to try to do the empathy map for one of your startups, you decide, and to train a little bit on the customer interview, because that's an important stage. And I've seen that a lot of founders, they fail on that stage. If you have any question, feel free to interrupt me and ask them. That's my way. I'm totally fine with that because I want it to be a conversation rather than a presentation. If you say, hey, we all know it, so just jump, go further, so I will go further, okay? We are going to use today Miro board and Menti.com. On every slide, you will be seeing how to enter, but in general, maybe I will be sharing in the chat as soon as it's needed, access to one of those tools. So starting from the beginning, what is customer development and why it is important? So first of all, is a very important stage, is a structural methodology that helps you to understand, to go from the idea into the assumptions, into validating, let's say, not validating, but getting evidence of those assumptions. So this stage is important for you to understand, hey, do I have any evidence? You cannot validate without going live, but at least you can get evidence. And the evidence you can get about your first assumptions is through customer development stage. There are 4 frameworks, right, about customer development. So you go through customer discovery. This is where you identify your target audience. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to work on it. Then you go to the validation. This is when you are, let's say, opening up your MVP. Then you go to customer creation. This is when you're getting first traction, and already company building, where you're going on a scale stage. On this stage, what I want to say, aside any customer development part, is that before deciding what to do, whether to pivot and everything, all you need to be focusing on when you launch your MVP, all you need to focus on is traction. This is very important. Traction tells a lot of information. And the right strategy towards getting that traction, it depends on how good, how well you did the customer discovery stage, how well you dive deep, how well you knew your customer, how well you understand their pain points, and you listen to them. And this is possible to get the right traction, obviously with the right marketing and sales strategy, but the marketing strategy depends, the result depends on the target audience in the end. So that's why this stage is the first one, and it's one of the most important ones, right? This will tell you what you need to include in your MVP, because most startups, many of them, they create an MVP based on assumptions, and then they start testing it. But for whom the MVP is created, that's another question. And there is a lot of pivoting and a lot of lean startup, let's say iterations. That's good, but it's easier when you kick off already with the right direction and the right insights, which you get from customer discovery stage. Everything is clear? Good. So today, as I said, we're going to focus on customer discovery. And there are three proven methods, right? There are three methods, which is get out of the building, which I love. And despite of the digital age, despite this, now we don't talk, we don't walk around, but I am telling you, it depends on the product. I still recommend to get out of the building and talk to your customer, whether it's on the event, whether it's outside your home, whether it's somewhere else, but talk to them directly, personally, as a founder. Then there is Lean Startup, which I already mentioned, build, measure, lean. And there is the prototyping, which I also like, because this gives of an MVP stage already. This gives you quite good insights, whether you are going to get that real traction I mentioned before, right? Fake it before you make it. So obviously, each of those methods are recommended to different type of startups. For B2B, SaaS, biotech, obviously get out of the building, and I will explain you why. For lean startups, it's more e-commerce, ed tech, B2C, and for prototyping is obviously pre-product startups mainly, where you need to build a real hardware, a real product. Just to understand why one or another method is better, I want to look at some examples. I like a lot, let's say, if we look at the Steve Blank's method, right? Tesla is a great example. And it's a combination of the customer discovery and the interviewing, especially interviewing stage. Because when they went out to talk to their customers, they weren't asking, do you want an electric car? That wasn't the question. The question was, they wanted to understand what frustrates them with existing gas-powered cars. What is it that annoys them? What would they want to have differently? They went deeper into emotions. They went deeper into the pain with the existing product, which they were going to replace. And that's how they managed to build a product, which now is a success. With Instagram, which is more direct to consumer approach, they use the lean, which they pivoted hundreds of times, right? They started as a check-in app, and now they evolved based on the trends, based on the consumer demands. They evolved heavily, and they are what we know them today. But in their case, they don't stop talking to customers. They have a department, a huge one, which runs customer interviews constantly on a rolling basis. That's part of their operations. And Zappos, it's a very good case for prototyping. I really love it, because what they did, they opened up an online store where they were putting pictures of the shoes. They never had a real shoe. They were going out there, taking pictures and selling pictures. And as soon as they got to the traction point, that's why I'm talking to you about traction, right? As soon as they spend, before spending any money on real shoes and everything, they used the fake it before make it approach. When they saw that everyone is clicking on the shoes, they want to buy them. They said, okay, now we see that our proposition actually works. Now we are going to launch a real website with real stock, and it will be our own product, right? So these are the examples how each of those methods, how they perform differently for these three famous startups. But obviously, before going to the second one, I want to ask you, when you are on this stage of your, like each of you have different stage, because I went through the platform. I want to ask you, and this is where we're going to use Mentee. Oh my God, I need to put it away here. I want to ask you, let me present it. Yes, which method works best for you? Let me present so that you could access. Can you access?
So can you just give maybe the like share link?
Yeah, you can enter to mentee.com and use this code. They don't need any link. And they will see this slide, what method works best for you, for each of you, so that I could understand if for each of you, what do you think, which one works best?
1 second, I will help out and
Mentee.com.
okay.
Let me write. You wrote the code.
And I also send the
Yeah.
link so you can enter.
Cool. Okay. 4 people responded. 6 people responded. Lean startup. Okay. So we see that lean startup is has higher score. I would like to hear. Oh, Steve Blank is like now is the same. Before like moving into my favorite, let's say, way, can someone who choose Steve Blank method, what were the arguments of going for Steve Blank's method? Go out there and talk to your customer. Can someone comment, please? Just anyone, feel free to say. There's no wrong answer. I just want to understand why you think yes, Ross.
Hey, in our case, we used Steve Blanco's, like I've been working in BDN sales for years, and I realized after like having a lot of startups, the first 2 failed essentially. And we realized, as you said, that we were going with a product, say we were selling potatoes and knocking on doors saying, hey, who needs potatoes? But then we realized that we have to work like doctors, like actually asking the customer first, like what exactly it is their need, what is their pain points. And if they told us they need carrots, we would actually then try and help them, get access to carrots instead of trying to shove potatoes down their throat. So this worked
Nice.
for us in the last couple of years, and this is how we're closing B2B clients.
Nice. That's very, very solid feedback. Thank you very much. Interesting. So you tried already the Steve Blank's method, and you saw it in work. Yeah, great. Anyone from Lean Startup? Please Go ahead. Let's talk. It's so cool when you can share your experiences. You're so experienced here, most of you. Yes, Selçuk.
I chose a combination of lean startup and Steve Blank, but giving a higher score to lean startup. Because, sometimes the clients don't know what they need, especially if it is an emerging technology or if it is an emerging business. In that scenario, Steve Blank may not be the best. In my case, we are working on AI. So the companies, they are implementing a certain amount of AI, but it's not a stabilized and well-structured business yet. So they don't know all the tools, they don't know what they need. So that's why I'm thinking a combination of Steve Blank, both listen to customers, what they achieved until now, what they couldn't achieve, what they need, but then also go with lean, create an evolving versions of the MVP and try it and to find that balance. So it is somewhere in between this Steve Blank and lean startup. That's at least my vision.
Nice. Thank you very much. Very interesting. You're very close to what I want to offer. I want to suggest. And prototyping, we see here also someone already either tried or prefers prototyping. Who can comment on this one, please? Claudio.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I also believe this is it's a very important step because while the lean can work and can give you information, customers sometimes want to see the dream, let's say, right? And that dream cannot be built from day one, and in our opinion, should not be built from our own dreams or from the customer's own dreams. It's a kind of a mix of both, right? So so we've done basically all of the three approaches, talking to them, finding the pain points, then running MVPs with different kind of, let's say, particularities, and then basically now we're working actively we have an exhibition in a month in Brussels where we want to show the prototyping for the second phase of our product, right? To show exactly where it goes and why it is very powerful, or it's a very powerful tool. So I think there's always, in my opinion, there's always a combination of the three. Which of course with let's say different varying on the moment where you find yourself on the, let's say on the timeline of development or whatever of the business, you have for example, for now the prototyping has become more important than the lean approach, but it wasn't the case let's say 6 months ago, right? So there is, I think, this kind of let's say different combination.
Depends on the stage. Depends on the stage. Thank you very much. And usually how you go for choosing the method, you decide based on the cost of your product, right? How much it costs you to build it. If it's expensive to build, first talk, right? Then go to the Steve Blanks. If it's not expensive and then go like if it's not expensive to build, then go to the fake it first, prototyping, what just Claudio said. But then if you want to fake it and it's still like expensive to fake it, anyways, just create some digital version of this physical product before investing in anything. And then if it's not very expensive, then you can go to the lean startup with a very, very minimal product, minimal viable product, or minimal lovable product. There are different versions now, and use the lean startup. This is a framework which for the first time startuppers really works when they are lost. They don't know, okay, where to start. They have never launched a company. In your case, since you already have experience and have done several stages, and you know that a combination of three is best, that's what I say always. The hybrid approach, this is most successful one. And that's exactly what both Selçuk and Claudio mentioned. So first you focus on problem interviews, and that's where you go out there and you talk to customers. Either you call them, but you need to, better if it's a digital conversation, see the face. Because again, emotions tell everything. Then you test the demand. with a landing page, with mockups, with very simple simulations, but you test the demand, and then you build the MVP. Then already you build the MVP when you saw that there is first traction and everything, right? So this is the approach I always recommend to all startups. Use all three methods, even though they are created completely by three different, in different even times they were created, but use the combination of the three of them is the best one. Yeah? Any questions so far? If no, we move on. Of course, for me, since I mentioned today, with the rise of AI, with the, let's say, fragility of the privacy information, with the impact, which is either social or environmental or both, right? For me, the ethical guardrails are the key in this case. And I always recommend avoiding deception. Never manipulate, never mislead. You can achieve something, but on a short term. This is a never successful long-term approach. Always be direct, honest, respectful with your customers. If it means that you were gonna lose the customer, but at least you did it truthfully, right? And most importantly, be let's say, truthful to your values. What you defined as a mission, what you defined as a value, especially with investors, when it comes to investors, don't change just because you need money, because this is also a short-term success. That's not a long-term. And impact is all about long-term, right? Then respect privacy. Take care of the data which you're collecting, how you're processing it, how you're storing it, how you communicate to the customer. All the data protection documents, no one is reading them. Everyone is just trusting you or with their personal data, because this is like, I don't know, 3 pages, 1 page or whatever written in a very small letter. It's like banking credit contract looks like. All those terms and conditions and data privacy and cookie policies. But you as a founder, it starts with you, with the head in this case, how you decide how you're gonna respectfully treat the data, private data. It's also related today, not only with the surname, name, etc., but it's also related to the cookies, to the web pages consumers are visiting, and as well potential harm, right? Thinking what are the consequences of each specific action, each specific decision. And that's also related very much to customer development when you will be talking to them. Don't try what I also saw the tendency, and it sometimes even I myself was doing it with full transparency. When you are when you're asking a question based that you created your own product and your idea and assumptions, right? You have them already in the head. You're just trying to get the evidence. Sometimes you start hearing answers which you don't like or you didn't expect. And instead of trying to guide customer to the answer which you are expecting, which makes your life easier, please try not to do it. Just listen to customer during the interviews. Even if the answers which you're listening, it means that whatever you've done, you need to change it already, or your assumption was wrong, but that's why you need them. And many founders who are running those interviews and asking those questions, they face the situations when they are starting like, yes, but why you're saying it? Why don't you like this? And start guiding customer to give the answers they expect. And that's when the interview results are also getting broken, right? Which affects then in the end what you need to let's say achieve and how you apply those results of the interview. So I promised half an hour of theory. We've done it. Now I will need Ira's help because now we are going to move to the customer empathy map. For that, I will need you to access this board to everyone. Please, as soon as you access, let me know that you can do it. If you need a password, there was a password in the beginning. Let me just share it with you here. Constructor 25. Tuck, 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 tuck. 1 second. Yeah, I see people here. So I'm sure you know how to work with it, but just in case, if you want to follow me where I am showing the screen, just click on my image and you will immediately be in the place where I am. Yeah. So today we are going to do 2 exercises, which I want you to do, and then we are going to also look at the results and discuss and reflect on them and understand what went good and what didn't go good. So first of all, I split all of you based on the products which you did in 3 groups: AI, software, fast to iterate MVP, deep tech, health tech, biotech, and edtech, and which is on the engagement and learning metrics they need. So first of all, Ira, I will send you maybe the list of startups on the groups, which how I would like to see them split. Is it okay?
Yeah. I will then prepare it, and then just you or me will click the button, open the rooms.
Yes. So I will share here, right, in this message. It's okay. So I'm fine that everyone sees it.
I mean, anyhow, Telegram
But
here.
let me do the Ira. Okay, then I will send it to you. So this one.
Okay.
Then for deep tech, I want these startups. For deep tech, I want these startups. And for edtech, let's do these ones. For edtech, let's do these ones. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you are inside, right, let me just guide you before, while Ira is doing. So let me guide you. So first of all, what is a customer empathy map? Customer empathy map is when you put yourself in your customer's shoes. When you want, before even talking to customer, right? After talking to customer, you already are like, you will be adjusting it and changing it. But before talking to customer, you need to understand, right? What are the problems, frustrations? Let's say it's like building the buyer persona with the details. But instead of just focusing on demographic, etc., we are focusing more on psychographic, right? Part. So what customer verbally expresses, right? What they might to say out loud. What are the emotional drivers? Mainly focus on the feelings, because the products which focus on the feelings, they succeed. You don't sell the solution. You need to, if you want to be successful, you need to tap into the feelings of each customer, right? So for example, instead of selling some tool which will automate process, you sell the time. Yeah, I'm giving you additional time to enjoy other things in life instead of focusing on this manual work. So focus always on feelings. That's why I like, when we're talking about empathy map, I like really creating it from the feeling perspective. So what is the problem? Not from the problem I cannot drive, or problem like I don't know how to use AI, but from the feelings perspective. What are the pains? What are the frustrations, right? Then what they do want to achieve in their life. What is their motivator and drivers, desires? And then how you can combine all of it and ideas how you can offer them. Not the AI solution tool, but another thing from the feelings perspective. And when you do this exercise, it will be much clearer for you what questions to ask a customer. Yeah, so it would look like I don't know, like for example, target group. Yeah, you can change it, but anyways, if it's a B2B, so you go for various target groups. You have commercial role, potential tiers, yeah, age, working at an impact-driven company. This means that yeah, this means something else, for example. So this is how it will look. For your marketing strategy, in the end, you will build it based on what you've done this here, right? Demographics, I mean, you know it already. You've done the research together with AI. You can ask and you will get this. But feelings, no one can give you. You need to understand putting yourself in your customer's shoes. And mainly, why founder needs to do this exercise. First of all, because founder is the one, usually you come up with an idea based on the pain. Either you faced it, or your friends or relatives or families, they went through something which you said, we cannot just let it be this way, right? We need to change something. That's why you are only ones, not a single employee in your company, the founder, the one who came up with the idea, not only a co-founder, which then helps to build, but the one who came up with the idea. It's important that you do this exercise, because then you will know from inside, then you will be much more accurate on the feeling side. And that's what empathy map is for. So for now, I would like you to be split to the groups, right? And this is what we're gonna do. Yes, how they're gonna go from where to where you want to take customer, and how. This is your product, and this is the pain, and this is what is their goal, what is the motivation. This in the end, how it will look like, and this would define what you develop. But in order to get here, that's what I want you to do. And this will be your assumptions. And then with the interviews part, you're going to, here I have some per vertical, I have some suggestions for the interview questions. You're going to get evidence to this table which you're gonna build. Obviously, we don't have time to build all of it, so I recommend you within your group, since I try to group you based on the same either stage or on the same, let's say, vertical. Choose one product and go for it. Do exercise for one product, and then you will be able already to do it later for your own. Yeah, try not to break it. But what happened here? Someone is totally taking it somewhere else. Yeah, you moved it. Yeah.
Let's then divide everyone. I mean, I've already sent the invitation, so people are kind of already jumping on it, and then you can just move around the rooms and it's something.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. And
then I will
also
stop
have
sharing for now, because you will be doing. Yeah.
I also have Yevgeny Tretyakov. I don't know in what team you are, Yevgeny.
What is the company?
Yeah,
All right, I closed the rooms, and now they have around 40 seconds to come back. Everyone.
Perfect.
Because otherwise, I mean, they can have their calls, and we can even provide the Zoom for them, anything that they need.
Yes.
In order to continue the conversation.
Yes. Very interesting projects, all of them.
Diamonds. Okay, the last 5. All right. Nice to be back. Nice to see you all back.
Indeed.
Hello.
And thank you very much, Diana, for joining us. Because I think that we were a little bit lost, and I think we added a lot of information already. So
I didn't know that this is possible, so this is a fun usage
Indeed.
of Zoom.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I want to say that all of you did well. It's just like it feels like, hey, this is so easy. This is so easy, but what you just like create problems, problem. But no, when you start putting yourself in a position of your customer, and especially in your case, like Ivan, when you have already 3 levels of customers, before reaching to your end user, you need to go through 2 different type of potential like customers, right? In this case, I always like say, hey, think about end user, the one not who will be buying you, but the one who will be using you. So talk about their language, talk on their like let's say of their feelings. What are their problems? And this is why if they're customers of any university or if they're customers of any medical institution or something, they already will know about their pains. What they need is a solution, right? And that's the direction. But I will now not talk much because I want to give chances to you, each of you, to speak about what you decided. I mean, maybe share the screen if you can, or maybe I will share the screen, go to the group. Maybe let's do it this way.
Yeah, that will be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, let me do it this way. Okay, you can see the screen?
Yes, we do. But I do have other
Perfect.
set of sticky notes. So maybe
Yeah,
you're just
because
on the wrong group.
I'm on another group.
Sorry about that.
So
You're
you
right.
are on this group, right?
Exactly, yes.
Ivan?
Yes, software and AI
So
is
take
what it
us
is.
through your exercise, please. 5 minutes each, and then I want you also to go through the questions which I prepared for you for each of those group for the interview. Irina, how much time do we have?
Like officially, we have 13 minutes total. But
13 minutes.
if everyone is fine, then we can just go on for another, let's say, 10, 15 minutes extra, if it's okay for you. So let's get it going.
Yes, let's get it
Maybe
going. Okay.
I will try to wrap it up in less than 5 minutes for each block. And
Perfect.
guys, feel free to add, because I think that we discussed it a lot in detail. So let's start. Again, just to remind everyone, Atlantis AI. So we are doing the personal AI ecosystem that runs on your device and helps you to be more productive. And starting to see who wants to be more productive. So those should be skilled workers who are not focusing on what they want to do, but those who are already doing some good of their business and just want to be more productive and not lose opportunities. So we identified it as skilled workers, 25 to 45 years old. They might need to possess essential hardware to run the whole setup. And what they want not to miss life's opportunities. And how they do it, they can do it through the blending all of their private information that they might not want to share with cloud AIs. So that would be the take on the ideal customer description as of this point in time. Shall anyone want to add something to it, or shall we move on to the problem statement part?
Let's move to the problem. What they
Yes.
feel.
So we identified that the target audience feel insecure with sharing their private data or private data of their customers, if we are talking about businesses, because they might face lawsuits, they might face data leaks that can basically ruin their business at some point of time. Or they might feel insecure sharing their diaries or some health reports or health data with any third-party companies like ours, let's say, which will do the same kind of job, but using cloud compute, meaning that they will let all their data flow into the cloud, and it will be obviously then processed and used for training, and again be faced to the potential leaks in future that can again lead to your very private information to be out there for public. So they want to feel free to ask any silly question. That's a very good point. So sometimes you're thinking of you want to know something, but you might not want AI, OpenAI, Claude, whichever you're using, basically to understand your user persona, who you are, because this information, when OpenAI will get to the point that they will sell ads or again use that data that they are not using for commercial needs at this moment. But again, you might not want to look silly, and that's why you don't want to ask ChatGPT of anything, and you can do that freely with local LLMs, because that all data is fully siloed in your ecosystem. So they let's see.
And what is it that they're looking for? The pains is clear, right?
Yes,
security. Let's move on.
Yes.
What is it that they're looking for?
I think they want not to lose life's opportunities is the main take on this part. So they understand that there is a lot of data that they're just collecting, gathering, and it's getting scattered and just stored on your premises. And they understand that this data can help in the age of AI. It can help them basically understand themselves better, understand what they are missing, understand the potential opportunities that they can get, or actionable insights throughout the day that can help them do more for less. And that's, I think, the main part. So they want to, again, get access to all that information stored on their premises from their smartphone, mobile device, which we, again, provide as the built-in main feature. So again, they want this information to be secure. That's why we are using end-to-end encryption, ensuring that even us as developers not having access to any single byte of information they own and process. And that's where we have seamless experience between multiple devices at this point. So they want to leverage cloud AI capabilities at some point.
This is like, I will stop you here.
Yes, for sure.
Because it's like too detailed. And obviously you are the one who is like offering. It's good, you know, to have one phrases, like short phrases. This will, not the whole description, but short phrases, just a recommendation for the rest. I would summarize telling what you said in this one phrase. This is how I would summarize, which will help you then define the target audience for your interviews. They are creators, they are developers, they are those who don't want to lose opportunities, but they want to continue using AI, but without the feeling that they will be exploited or surveilled. Yeah.
I like it so much. Thank you.
I will leave the sticker here because you're gonna have the access. And then this one, I recommend you to review it later, because you have the 4 specific pain, you have what they're getting by using your solution. And this will help you to define what MVP you need to create.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can go to the second group, which was in deep tech, health tech.
Yeah, I think we can.
Yes, let's do quickly, maybe. Evgeny, just briefly, one phrase per block for the sake of time.
Exactly.
What is it that you also like found out and knew?
Yeah, thank you for your help, because it was really like new perspective for us. So our client basically a genetic lab, and genetic lab specifically providing services for IVF clinics. IVF is in vitro fertilization. So basically, those are labs which work to help doctors, to help patients to get babies. Again, 2 levels, right? And as you suggested, we should speak using language of our like very end customer, but basically we should address our real customers, so genetic labs, right? And the pain is that they cannot solve real world normal day-to-day problems, right? So because it's very clear with the obvious problem that just people want to have healthy babies. That's it. And so they want it because they want to have tangible results and real user case. They want to have basically photo of successfully kind of for cases where they could help, because normally embryologists and gynecologists, they can have these photos, right? So it's not for genetic lab to have it, but actually they could implement something to help. And our solution doesn't require from them a lot of innovations, a lot of investments, and can basically give them simply solution which will provide not just new service, but it will improve their image a lot, because this is clear stories.
Okay. So then your promise is that you're going to, let's say, transform the genetics data into specific actions and insights which the labs can use in order to help with the intro.
Yes, yes, yes.
Perfect.
So they will be also like more active. They will be involved into this process, not like passively, but actively.
Yeah. Maybe just a suggestion, maybe you can think about this or any similar one. Something like this. But okay, any questions around this exercise? You can dive deeper into it. You just kicked off, but you can dive deeper. If you think about it longer, you will come up with maybe other. But in general, it looks full to me. What is the problem and how you potentially can solve it? The strategy outreach needs to be thought through better in your case, because you have different levels of outreach, and message behind it should be the problem, should be the same, but the message you are using towards each of the customer, it will be different.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where you need to focus on before going deeper. And maybe simulation with an AI agent, right? Here, I might recommend you to add what is customer getting? So what is customer from the problem to the solution, and how, right? This is how, and this is where, what is the end result for the customer? That's what, when you put it, then you will know how to frame it. Thank you very much. Congratulations on your project. I really loved it. And now let's go to the third group.
Yeah.
For the scholars.
Everyone. Yeah. So it was EdTech, my project, Yeray. Our ideal target customer are like high school seniors, early career professionals from 16 to 30. And what's their problem is they're not feeling competent. They might think that getting a degree from US or European university, getting their diploma would make them feel more confident. And as you said, when they open the news, they compare themselves with the people who already got their degrees or who got admitted, who got scholarships. So the problem is that they compare themselves with those people. And another thing, while we were talking with Claudia and Ulysses, and we thought it's the fear of rejection, because they're afraid that even if they apply, spend a lot of time, money, energy, they might get rejected. And well, they do have ambition, aspiration to get into international university, and they want to exchange the culture. So, and what they want to achieve is prestige, credibility, multiple offers. They want to get access to networking, better job opportunities, and they want to have clarity on the process of admission, right? And what we can offer is, clarity. We can offer them different choices, different opportunities. We offer them personalized guidance. We offer them 10 plus years of mentorship knowledge, everything in one platform. There are 10 different features that users can use, from test prep till writing their college application essays, even preparing for visa with our AI simulator. So that's what we got.
And by doing this exercise, what did you find out? Did you find out something new which you could just use it for you the next step, which is, I think you're on validation, right? Market validation stage, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we're on product fit. We already have our traction, first users. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so when we think about a problem, we always think about like money, cost, but when you said when they open the news, they see people who got like their degrees, right? I never thought about a problem this way. So that was a very big insight for me, to be honest, and thank you for that. Because we tend to think like external problems, not internal, right? Not what the customer feels, like what is the behavioral like motivation that they want a degree abroad, right? So that was like very eye-opening for me. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, this is also very useful, and hopefully one day I will also use it for PhD. Let's see.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. So from this exercise, what I want to really highlight is that when you're talking about problems, what just Amin shared, right? Just put yourself, you need to understand, all of us, we are overwhelmed with a lot of information.
Right.
Overwhelmed. And this overwhelming information, this is what generates anxiety in us, especially if there is one thing specific which worries me. We suddenly see it everywhere, right? We are being nudged into it by advertisement, by the news. Everything is being like, through different AI models, etc. But what is so you need to understand, okay, I'm a customer, my daily life, how does it look like internally? What do I feel when I see information about another one got it admitted to some scholarship? What do I feel? Where do I get this information from? And this is how you will understand how you need to build a proper strategy to reach out to this customer, to talk to this customer. That's the only way. All external problems, yes, we cannot solve all of them, but at least that's why we need to talk about empathy map. Empathy, it's about feelings. It's about how it makes us feel these specific problems, not only problems, but how it makes us feel and how do we interact with those problems. Then the next thing, what I wanted us to do is to go through this specific interview, right? And I created 10 questions with 3 different goals per group, which the way groups were splitted. I created just an example of questions. This doesn't mean that you need to follow them. So right now you created assumptions, right? You have assumption, you have the feeling, what they feel, where they want to go, and can they get it. So now you need to get the evidence for those assumptions. And these are just guidance, let's say, which can help you to identify, to finalize your MVP identification and what is it that, how you're gonna, let's say, position yourself in the market on this validation or product fit stage. So that's why, let's say, for the first group, obviously, I mean, validation would be the biggest manual pain points, right? This will be the goal for the interview questions. For the second group, it will be to confirming the top metrics that labs want improved, what we spoke about, right? What is it? What is labs' problem? Because labs also have problem and goals. What is it? How can you help them achieve that problems, right? And then the third one obviously would be, let's say, identify the departments willing to invest in immense skill training and their success metrics. This is the direction I would recommend, but since, I mean, you already say that you have already first traction, this is great. Just again, check, do the second interviews at this stage to understand if you finalize the product fit and you can go to the scale with this specific structure and this approach. But this would be also, in this case, retention is also key, right? Because in any educational problem, the least problem is to get you in, the biggest problem is how to make you get until the end. And that's the biggest challenge which educational institutions have from my knowledge, right? This retention. So that's why I would recommend you to do this 5 minutes conversation, maybe take top 3 questions which you like within your groups and try to do this role game. So Amin is asking, and you, from what you've heard, from what you've learned about her product, you try to kind of like answer as a customer, as a potential customer. This would be, let's say, 5 minutes exercise. If you want to go for it, go for it. Or maybe, Irina, you have another recommendation how to move on with these questions?
I mean, if it's possible, I am sharing the mirror board link
Yeah.
so that you can go through these questions after that, because I don't know whether founders here have another appointment today,
Yeah.
because it's already out of a little bit extra time. We're going out. So probably it's just I'm a nice freezing picture that I have.
Yes.
Sorry, that's my Zoom. That's my mood right now, I guess. But yeah, maybe key takeaways, Diana, from today's, and we will wrap it all up. I think that would be a very nice, smooth way to do that.
Yes. So the key takeaways, what I want to share with you. So first of all, don't underestimate the customer discovery step, because not most, today founders are, I see they're more diligent and everything, but many founders, they still are so confident with the results ChatGPT gave them about the opportunity of the market. So confident that, wow, numbers are so big that, hey, let's jump to the building prototype and then let's just put it out there, raise some money and test it, that they skip the step because it's a very time-consuming step. It's a time-consuming one. Or some of those also decide, okay, yeah, we still need it, but let's ask someone do it. Yeah, I don't have time to spend on it. So that's something which I recommend you never do, because you're the founder, you're the core of the idea. Yes, you had your own reasons why you came up with these solutions. And you need to get evidence if there are more people like you. And how big is this market for your product, how big it is. And then you will be finding out new ideas and new problems and new things which might be putting in your roadmap. Don't put everything together in MVP. That's another recommendation. That you will be finding out by talking to your customers that there are much more problems behind this one solution, right? Or behind this one specific problem. So try to really put all those ideas in a roadmap, but keep the MVP as lean and as smooth as possible. Today, customers, everyone is as we spoke about data, right? And there is a solution for this, is really caring about the data, cares about the time. Any customer now, even the old generations, but they're still used already to having the instantly, so they don't want to wait. They need instant results, or at least instant answers and clarity. That's any product needs to be aiming at, right? Always in your decks, in your slides, you need to have these 4 criteria. You need to have it included that it is safe. Anything you gave us will not be leaked, will not be stolen, will not be sold, right? Just for the money. Your data is safe with us. This is the clear solution. Don't overcomplicate it, because that's very important. And that this is the problems we're gonna solve you. But then going back into the specific insights which you're getting from those work, right? There is several ways how to turn insights into experiments. That's also like prototyping, what we discussed, MVPs. So you need to test demand. That's first thing. Then you need to do some manual delivery service, maybe to 3-5 users, to have direct interaction with those users, to see if the frustration is there. And usually the goal for MVP stage, the KPI, should be, let's say, in case of Ivan, I would say, just from my mind, 70% reduction of anxiety while using AI. This is the first KPI for an MVP stage. It shouldn't be revenue, it shouldn't be this, because maybe in order to win market, you decide to go for freemium model, right? Whatever, for the first 20 customers, first 50 customers, that's also, this is a strategy already we're talking about. But converting the insights which you're learning from your interviews into experiments, you need to have also certain KPIs. And try not to make all of them quantitative. They should be with the numeric, but emotional, linked to the initial problem. And if you achieve that, you see that out of, I don't know, 10, 7 people who tested, they feel safer, consider that you went through the validation of your MVP stage. Yeah, consider that. And also, like, also have these buttons different on the pages when you're launching the MVP, which will be, let's say, fake doors, so that you can see if they need this door, right? It's like, let's say, fake door, I call a button, okay, get inside. Yeah, you get inside, and then if you don't have the inside, you provide a nice message, this is on the latest stage or something, but you yourself will know that this button, this action, this call to action is actually valid. So also add those type of, not many, but some fake doors, I call those buttons, which will help you also understand on the behavioral basis which actions actually make sense and which don't. For MVP stage, it's also crucial. That would be, that would be my recommendations. And around the number of interviews, I would say at least 30. Someone wrote here, let me open the message, about 149 interviews, positive feedback. Nice. So alpha testing to get more insights, good. But when you're creating that alpha testing, right, think about fake doors, think about like what insight you want to get from this testing. Not only traction, but as well additional things. What insights you want to get. Use this alpha testing. And congratulations on your 149 interviews. This is a good rate. And this 92 positive feedback. Think about that 8. What didn't like? Because now from 149, 8 people, I mean, not 8% didn't like. So on a market base, this might be much bigger number. Yeah. So think about that 8%. What did they tell you? Don't ignore them. You don't need to take this into account because you cannot be good for everyone and liked by everyone. This shouldn't be the goal. Always stick to the problem solution, but don't ignore them. Yeah, that's all from me. And thank you very much for your work. It was really interesting to learn about your solutions and your ventures. Really great.
Thank you so much, Diana. And we will also sharing your LinkedIn in case anyone want to connect and continue the conversation. Yeah. Well, meanwhile, congratulations on making it for the first workshop. Well, I'm just shooting here a small feedback form. I will also shoot it in the WhatsApp chat together with a super master page that I've created for you. This being said, let's get it going. And thank you so much, Diana, for Customer Discovery Again workshop. We are moving on towards diving deeper with the mentors and also diving into storytelling in a little bit of time. So on Thursday, there will be a workshop on storytelling. This is the unique week for us to meet twice. And if there are no specific questions right now or concerns that we all need to address, I suggest that we are rolling our sleeves and going with these customer interviews or whatever you need to do as founders. Thank you so much for participating. Diana, thank you so much for sharing
Thank
your
you.
knowledge. And I'm wishing everyone a very nice and productive afternoon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.